To my weekly talk radio show called Take My Advice. I'm Not Using It. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa every Tuesday at naturally high noon on Universal Broadcasting Network in Hollywood, California, and on Thursday and Saturday on my CNBC, NBC News Radio syndicated channel, KCAA, AM 1050, FM 102.3, FM 106.5, and now everywhere on iHeartRadio. And you just heard William, who did a call-in from Michigan. Beautiful. If you missed it, you can get it again on Thursday or go to my YouTube channel after that. And instead of a second caller, I have a special little treat for us today because I got invited to go to Soldiers Field and it's for a very good cause. So please welcome to the studio two of my buds and co-conspirators in life to balance out all the bad news and to focus the light of love on areas that are formerly in darkness. So I have a new friend. Yeah, they get their applause ahead of time. Not because they deserve it, Dave, right? This is my wordplay friend. He is a past guest of mine. He's incredible. He has a program that has been approved by the Pentagon, among other things. He's all about your peak performance and how you can be excellent in your life and do the very best that you can. His name is Dave Austin. And then, there we go. And then, because he loves the applause. So you just like total, see, that's what I'm saying. And then my new friend that I got to meet in August, who is, I call him affectionately my brother, who is wonderful, wonderful all the way through and has a heart just this big, beyond limitless. His name's Mark Hattas. He is the founder of this organization that's putting on Journey's Dream, and he also has the uncanny ability to look into people. And I'll never forget, he looked into me and he goes, "Wow, you're like really clear. I've never seen anybody so clear energetically, except for one little area." And I'm like, "Really? Thank you." And he goes, "Yeah, there's one." I go, "What's that?" And he goes, "Well, it's an FU." And I'm like, "What?" And he goes, "That's the protective part." And he was absolutely right. So I've been doing some heart work trying to heal that part that is a little more, back off, just stay like this, come this close. And so I'm really grateful, Mark. I've been working very, very, very steadily on opening that heart more. So maybe I'll have one as big as yours soon. So that's my friends, and they're going to tell you about an opportunity to make a difference. So I don't know who wants to go first.
I'll go.
Okay.
So I'm getting some feedback. So on my side.
Oh, yeah, I'm getting a little feedback from you. Can you turn your microphone down?
Yes. How's that?
Better. Okay.
I can't hear you, but it's better.
Oh, okay. We can hear you.
All right. So one of the things that we have known about people for eternity is that we're loving human beings, right? We all treat each other well and with respect. And obviously that's not exactly true when we look out in the world. But I ended up building a company and selling a company and going through kind of a personal crisis where I felt very divided. I wasn't really clear on who I was. I was trying to please ideas I had of what I was supposed to be, and ended up going through a transformation that was a very healthy transformation for me. But the beginning of it was kind of scary. And I ended up in a psych ward and I was diagnosed as bipolar. So being a business leader and then in the psych ward diagnosed as bipolar, I wasn't very comfortable with that. And as I got comfortable with it, I realized that the worldview was that I was kind of broken and there was no way to get well and I'd be on medications the rest of my life. And it just didn't resonate as being true for me. So I am a very faithful, spiritual person. I prayed for guidance, if there was a way to heal it, that way would appear, and it did. So I was extremely thankful that it did. And it took about 3 years, but I ended up getting to a very healthy state off all medications. And that's been that way for about 3 years. And I connected with some other really brilliant people who had been affected by mental health in a way. And they had lost their son, Journey, who had been diagnosed as schizophrenic, and he walked off a 6-story building. And we collaborated and decided, let's build an organization where people can find resources of hope, where we could aggregate solutions that exist around the planet, and they could find those practitioners or those programs or whatever is good for them, but create a trusted resource for our society today and co-create it with many, many, many people. So that was the launch of Journey's Dream. And we're doing a big event on November 4th at Soldier Field, as you mentioned, with some really cool people I'll let Dave talk about, because he's had a big hand in pulling that together, to kind of come together as a community and celebrate a new belief system that all people can fully recover from a mental health challenge.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. And I'm so glad it was true for you. And it is true for many, many people. I think it's way too easy to diagnose and then to get on that hamster wheel of medication that has side effects that are worse than the actual symptoms. So I tread lightly when I talk about this stuff. I'm not saying that medication doesn't have its use, but I think that if what you're talking about and looking at things holistically and bringing all the resources, the hope together is a absolutely necessary thing, and that's why I'm fully on board and wanted to have you.
And to echo that, we believe that medication is extremely useful as well. I mean, without it, I probably would have killed somebody or been dead. So it helped stabilize me. It helped get me into a healthier state of being in order to then find the solutions. But it doesn't heal, and we know that. The medication, though, does help, bridge the gap as someone goes through whatever their healing transformation is.
Right. Great.
Yeah, I think it's important for people to know that there's all kinds of different modalities. And that's what we're becoming is that what Mark and Rex and Mitzi and Brea have formed is a place that there you can see all the things that are available to you. Because the truth is, if you lose hope, what do you really have? Nothing. And so, our tagline is hope is here. Come here and find the hope and meet you right where you are, because different things are perfect for different people. And we want to have it all there for you. So why did we choose Soldiers Field, where the Chicago Bears play in Chicago? I mean, one of the most historic NFL stadiums. Why did we choose that particular place?
Why, Dave?
Well, because it's Soldiers Field. And we're bringing together soldiers of hope. And that's who we all need to stand up. That's how we are going to make a difference in this world. We don't need weapons to do this. We need our hearts. We need our souls. We need commitment on all levels. And we can have an impact on this. 1 out of 4 people are affected by mental illness. Did you know that? I mean, it's dramatic.
1 out of 4. I've heard Yeah, I've heard 1 out of 4 are taking either antipsychotics or anti-anxiety or antipsychotics. So
think about that. And if we can have an impact on that, and there's an epidemic as far as suicides right now, especially in our youth. We have to hit this straight up. And there are answers. There's places, just people don't know where to turn. And so we're bringing together anybody who wants to be a soldier of hope and take this on, because it takes an army. It takes all of us collectively saying, yes, we're going to have impact. So we chose Soldiers Field because it's the perfect place to, I believe, and we believe, to host the very first event to bring up awareness. And then, we have Frank Shankowitz, who friend of yours too, who started the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Yeah. He's coming in because he is so committed to this, and he's had some issues when he was a highway patrolman that I didn't even know before, that he's going to share with us, because he had to be, brought out to the bloodiest scenes. And he had what many of our military guys have, that post-traumatic syndrome.
Right.
And so he had to go through that. And then David Stanley, who's brother of Elvis Presley, he was the one that found Elvis, there, died. And there's a lot of things that the media just doesn't know about the mental issues that were going on there. And Dave will come and share that. There's going to be some insights that are going to blow people away. But at the end of the day, it's not about the problem. It's always about the solution. And we're not going to stay in the problem. We're going to go to higher elevation. We're going to be in the solution. And there are solutions. Mark is an absolutely perfect example of a way to go through this.
Right.
And he now is helping so many others go through it. But there's all kinds of different things that we can do. And so we want to make that available for everyone, so they know there's always hope.
Great. Now, what different levels of involvement are we looking at? So we've got people that are invited to actually attend. I mean, obviously there's a lot of room and we can expect to hear some great speakers, and there's going to be, people who have solutions that will be there with some samples, is that what I'm guessing, or that all like tables of hope. And then we are looking for ground level sponsors, right? It's people who would like to support this work and come in as gold or platinum. Go ahead and explain all that.
Yeah, so thank you. We have, and we're still refining the exact points of the program, but yes, there's an opportunity for sponsors, to put their brand in front of this community. And we're talking about hundreds of people that they can reach and support this organization, and also, bring, people from their company, their organization, whatever it is that they're sponsoring from. And there's a variety of things. If people are interested, they can certainly, reach out and contact us through journeysdream.org, or directly, individually, however you'd like to communicate that.
Yes.
But
journeysdream.org is the website. So I think I put it up there on their lower third, and I think I might have a snapshot. It's that turquoise purple. I did a shot of that. But they can go there and see the kinds of involvement, right? The level of support.
Yes, and we have a sponsorship package we can share with anybody who's interested. We're looking for volunteers, people who they're passionate about this, but they may not have the funds to get out there and they want to participate. So we're looking for that. And then people can attend. And, this is a big part of this, is to create awareness. Let's create a coalition and awareness of the mission. Right. And as we start to create that coalition, we'll branch off and continue with additional fundraising activities. So we're raising some funds here, but that's going to be just part of the event. It's going to be a stellar, amazing, not only just a networking event, because there's going to be brilliant, awesome human beings there, but truly educational about some of the core advances that have been happening in this arena. And
we're going to share an amazing video up on the Jumbotron. You're going to do it, go big, I guess,
Right.
In Chicago, the Soldiers Field did a whole revamping of their stadium. And it's going to be an amazing event. I think we're all going to be able to lift each other up. I mean, and what I talked about earlier, go to that higher ground where all the solutions lie. Right. And it's the sponsors, to do something like this, to have this kind of world effect, you do need people to step up. But it's going to take, as I said earlier, an army, all of us uniting, all of us having that passion together, so that we will and know that we'll make a dent in the suicide rates and in those that are struggling, that maybe feel like they've lost hope. Right now, they're going to find it here. This is just the kickoff to it all.
Yeah. It's not a life sentence. 2 of my most important years of my life I actually spent at Hillview Mental Health Center when I was getting my degree, and I got to start as a psych aide and work up to program management level. And I had 18 chronically mentally ill patients, and I wrote music, a song for them. And if there's a piano out there, I think I'm gonna jump on it. But it was 2 of the most important years of my life, because I learned the fragility between health and mental health and ill health, and it was just amazing. If you haven't seen, there's a movie called Awakenings that I tell all people to go see, because it really helps you have compassion and identification for people who feel trapped in that. And I'm so grateful that the motto here is there's hope. and that it is on a field of hope, because it really, we're in this together. We're all 7.3 billion of us are in this together, and no one. I mean, that's what life is to discover, of what service we can be. So I'm grateful for your ideas. I'm grateful for your experience and how you have turned, Mark, you're a perfect example of people who have gone through hardship, from, millionaire tech to ending up in a psych ward, and then not hiding that experience, but using that experience now to turn that light back on an entire community that could use a little more hope. So for that, I'd like to give you, Dr. Marissa's Beneficial Presence on the Planet Award. That's for you, Mark. Sorry, Dave, not today.
Hey, you know what? I'm clapping with that whole group. I'm right with you, Marissa. It is amazing what Mark is doing, and how, think about how to be that vulnerable, that humility, going, as you say, a multimillionaire successful businessman, to say, hey, it doesn't matter how much money you make, doesn't matter where you are in life, these things happen.
Right.
And there are solutions. So
Absolutely.
I'm clapping with the group right there.
All right. Thank you, Dave. Thank you, Mark. We are out of time. Journeysdream.org. If you know anyone who is touched by mental illness, if you know any facilities that would like to get, exposure at Soldiers Field, if we want to unite all of the separated efforts into one giant ball of hope, this is it. Thank you so much. And journeysdream.org. All right. Thank you.
Marissa.